Welcome. In this playthrough Marvel Champions the card game, we have Spider-Man and Venom taking on Scenario 3 of the Rise of the Red Skull against the Taskmaster. So for our setup, we've got one main scheme, hunting down heroes. We're using Taskmaster, Hydro Patrol, and the Weapon Master. Setup, we're going to set each captive ally aside, which we have here. Out of play, search the encounter deck for Hydro Patrol and put it into play and shuffle the encounter deck. On this side, we've got a threshold of 12 per player. Force response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase. Each player in hero form must choose to either place a threat here or take a damage. And we're starting with 1 threat per player. Hydro Patrol comes in with 4 threat on it. When defeated, each player searches encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play, engage with them. Shuffle the encounter deck, and that prevents us from taking threat off the main scheme. Then we have the Taskmaster starting out with a scheme of 2, attack of 2. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card. Force response after player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card and 16 health per player. Then for heroes, we have Venom going with aggression, Spider-Man with justice. So Venom, 4-1, attack of 2, 2 defense, control additional upgrade with the restricted keyword. Symbiotic Bond as a resource, takes the damage to generate a wild resource, hand size of 5, 12 health. Alter Ego's got a recovery of 4, still has the additional upgrade with the restricted keyword. And Armed and Ready for setup, discard cards from the top of the deck until you discard a weapon upgrade, then add that card to your hand. Hand size of 6 here. And starting with a laser cannon and the basic attack upgrade, give him +1 hit point and +1 attack. And for his aggression cards, we have 2 Power of Aggression, Hall of Heroes, Energy Spear, 3 Relentless Assaults, 3 Fusillades, Spider-Girl, Throg, Marvel Boy, Valkyrie, Bug, Tigra, and Brawn. And basic cards, we have our 3 Resources, a Helicarrier, an Endurance, and 3 First Aids. For Spider-Man, 4-1, attack of 2, defense of 3. Spider Sense is an interrupt. When the villain initiates attack against you, draw a card. It has a 5, 10 health. Alter Ego, recovery of 3. As a scientist, a resource, generate a mental resource once per round. Hand size of 6. And he's coming in with a tactical scanner and the basic thwart upgrade, giving him +2 hit points and +1 thwart. And for Justice, we have 2 Power of Justice, Counterintelligence, Spycraft, Sense of Justice, Under Surveillance, then 2 Clear the Areas, 3 For Justice, 3 One Way or Another, Eros, Wraith, Quasar, Wiccan, Quake, and Agent Coulson. And our basic cards, we have our 3 Resources, Nick Fury, Quincarrier, and an Endurance. All right, so finishing our setup, shuffling the encounter deck, then we're going to deal each of our heroes an encounter card. And then we shuffle in our obligations. And then after we get that nice and shuffled, we'll get our cards for our heroes. So for Flash, 6 cards. Looking for our weapons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Energy, pistol, strength, Valkyrie behind enemy lines, and their other pistol. We're going to keep the resources and the guns and Valkyrie for that matter. And draw 1 more into a Relentless Assault and then discard until we find our other weapon. And found it pretty quick. Found our multi-gun. And on this side, 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Quincarrier, Enhanced Spider Sense for Justice, Quasar, Power of Justice, and Black Cat. Too many great cards to get started with. We'll pitch those to Aunt May and a Webbed Up. Then we'll take our captives and just sit them there for now. All right, we're going to go ahead and flip over. Bring in our multi-gun. Hero action, exhaust it. Choose one of the following. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. Choose a player. Deal a damage to each minion engaged with that player. Or remove 2 threat from a scheme. We're going to remove 2 threat from a scheme. Then we're going to bring in one of our pistols. Hero interrupt. When you use one of Venom's basic powers, exhaust his pistol. Venom gets +1 to that power for this use. Then we're going to take a damage to create a resource to bring in our other one. Yes, when he flipped over, we would have taken 2 indirect damage down to 10. Then we'll go ahead and thwart for 3. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play, engage with them, and shuffle the encounter deck. And we're going to go looking for some guys with 2 health. There we go. Hydra regular, schema 1, attack of 2. Insight is when they are revealed. They're being put into play. So 1 there and 1 there. So the insight does not trigger. I'm going to use our free resource to bring in Aunt May. Exhaust her as an alter ego action to heal 4 damage from Peter Parker. We're going to flip over and take 1 damage. Then we're going to attack for 2. And bring in Quasar. After he enters play, remove a threat from each scheme in play. Thwart 1, attack of 2 and 3 health. And attack for 2. And ender turn. We're going to keep energy on this side. And I usually don't like doing this, but Black Cat and Quinn Carrier are keeping 2. So counterintelligence, enhanced spider sense, and a webbed up. And over here, Tigra, relentless assault, first aid, and a Hall of Heroes. So we get 2 threats. Attacked over here. We are going to defend for 4. Oh, wait. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, we can either take a damage or put a threat up there. Each of our heroes are going to put a threat. So we're defending for 4, attacking for a base 2, so we're fine. Attacking over here, we get to draw a card. And we're just going to take it for 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to 7. And counter cards. Hunted by Hydra. Insight 1. When revealed, each player in hero form takes a damage and discards a card at random from their hand. Down to 9. Down to 6. Losing energy. And on this side, Quinn Carrier. Discard an upgrade or support you control. No cards were discarded this way. This card gains surge. So this is not a permanent, so we're going to discard that. And over here, captured by Hydra. When revealed, place a random set aside captive ally face down beneath the scheme. When the scheme is defeated, the player who defeated it takes that ally into their hand and removes the scheme from the game, getting 5 threat. And 1 hidden behind there. And then the villain is going to scheme for base 2, 3. And pass first player. All right, we're going to bring in Black Cat. 4 to 1, attack 1, 2 health. Force response. After you play Black Cat, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Add each card with a printed mental resource discarded this way to your hand. So just a printed there. We're going to go ahead and bring in a Sense of Justice, play under any player's control. Max 1 per player is a resource, exhaust it to generate a mental resource for a thwart event. Then attacking with Black Cat, down to 31. We're going to thwart for 2. And then thwart for 1. Then over here, multi-gun to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And that's going to get us Electra. 4 to 1, attack of 3. 3 health. After you play her from your hand, spend a physical resource, deal 3 damage to an enemy. And that's removed from the game. I'm going to bring in Tigra. 4 to 1, attack for 2, 3 health. After Tigra attacks and defeats a minion, heal a damage from her. Thwarting for 1. Then we're going to bring in Electra, 4 to 1, attack of 3, 3 health. And we're going to take a damage to create a physical resource to deal 3 damage to an enemy. Down to 28, and then hit for 3 more, down to 25. And end your turn. We're going to keep Spider Sense, Quake, Backflip, Wraith, and for Justice. And over here, Savage Attack, Fusillade, Helicarrier, Project Rebirth, and Power of Aggression. So 2 more threat. Each of us is going to take a damage. We're staying in hero form. Attacked over here, we draw a card into arrows. Then Quasar is going to defend. So base 3. Then attacking over here, we're going to defend for 4. For 1, 2. If you're in hero form, take a damage. Otherwise, place a threat on the main scheme. So we're taking damage. But the attack was fine. So encounter cards. We're in hero form. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. If an attack card was discarded this way, Taskmaster attacks you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So no attacks there. And give to the Flash Thompson player. You may flip to alter ego form. We can exhaust Flash Thompson and take 2 damage to discard this, or put 1 set-aside copy of Enraged Symbiote into play, engage with the first player. If you cannot, this card gains Surge. So we're going to go ahead and flip to alter ego, then put a set-aside copy of Enraged Symbiote into play. And Schema 1, attack of 2, 2 health. Guardian Patrol on this guy, and 2 health. Pass first player. All right, for Flash, bringing in Project Rebirth 2.0. Alter ego action. Exhaust it. Choose to either draw a card or heal 3 damage from Flash. So we're going to heal 3 up to 9. And flip over. See what that does to us. We lose 1. Down to 8. Tiger's going to attack to defeat. Going to heal 1. And then take her damage. Electra's going to attack for 3, down to 22. Multi-gun to remove 2 threat. Then Savage Attack, dealing 5 damage to an enemy. Down to 17. All right, attacking for 1. Down to 16. Going to bring in arrows. 4 to 2, attack of 1, 2 health. After you play them from your hand, confuse a minion for each mineral resource. None out there to deal with. Thwarting for 2. Thwart for 2. Bring in Quake. 4 to 1, attack for 2, 2 health. After minion schemes, exhaust her to deal 2 damage to that minion. We're going to have her thwart for 1. And we're going to go ahead and flip over and use Aunt May to heal for 4 up to 9. And ender turn. One, two, three, four, five. Fusillade, Throg, Spider Girl, Run and Gun, and Spider Sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Clear the area, Endurance, Web Shooter, clear the area, Strength, and Nick. So we get 2 threats. We've got 1 hero in play. He'll add 1 more threat up there. Then attacking over here, Electra's going to defend for base 5. Then scheming on this side for 2, 5. And counter cards. Attach a Taskmaster. His attacks gain piercing. Hero action, exhaust your hero, spend a mental and physical resource to discard it, +1 attack with a sword. And we've got an eviction notice. You may flip to alter ego form. We already are. Exhaust Peter Parker to remove this from the game. So we're going home, paying our rent, and don't have to worry about that for another month. And pass first player. So Aunt May's ready, but we're going to use her again. We go up to 12. We're going to use our free resource to bring in a web shooter. So it gets 3 counters on it as a hero resource. Exhaust it to remove a web counter from it to generate a wild resource. Then flip over. Thwart for 2. Bring in Nick Fury with the help of a web shooter. 4 to 2, attack of 2, 3 health, and we're going to use his ability to draw 3 cards. One way or another, swinging web kick, and one way or another. Attack for 1. Thwart for 2. One way or another, hero action, max 1 per round, searching counter deck for a side scheme, reveal that side scheme, and draw 3 cards. Captured by Hydra. With 5 threat. Drawing into a spider tracer, a backflip, and a swinging web kick. We are going to thwart for 1. Use that to pay for clearing the area, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Then clear the area, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat on that scheme, draw a card. This gets removed from the game. And we find White Tiger. 4 to 3, attack of 1, 3 health. After your player from your hand, spend a mental resource, remove 3 threat from a scheme. And we draw a card to Agent Coulson. We're going to bring in White Tiger, spending a mental resource to remove 3 threat from a scheme, and then thwart for 3. So that's taking care of 6. Then we're going to bring in Spider Sense. So when the villain initiates attack against us, we're going to draw a card. Then take a damage to create a resource. To bring in Throg, thwart 1, attack for 2, 2 health. After you're in his play, give him a tough status if we're engaged with a minion, which we are not. We're going to attack for 2. Down to 13, attack for 2, down to 11. Attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 7. And 2 more damage, down to 5. Actually, he attacks for 1 more. Ender turn. And I kept 4 cards in my hand. We're going to pitch the web kick and just draw 2 more, one way or another, and for justice. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. First aid, brawn, run and gun, and a relentless assault. So we get 2 threats, and then each of them is going to add 1 each up here. Attack initiated. We get to draw a card into a web kick. Nick is going to defend for base 3, 4, 5. Initiate attack over here. We draw a card, savage attack. Throg defends for 1, 2, 3, 4. And counter cards. Shadows of the Past. Nothing we can do about that, so we're going to get our set-aside Nemesis with the side scheme and some more nasty cards. So the Vulture comes in with Quick Strike, Schema 1, attack of 3, 4 health, Attackiness for 3, and we're just going to backflip out of that. When you would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent all of that. Highway Robbery. When revealed, each player places a random card from their hand face down here. When defeated, return each face down card here to its owner's hand. And 6th threat. Let's see. And Venom. And these 3 cards get shuffled in. All right. And for this one, Exosuit. Attach to the villain. Spend 1 of each resource to discard it. +1 scheme, +1 attack. And first player changes. All right. We're going to thwart for 1. 2, 3, then remove 2 more. Then run and gun to ready Venom and each weapon upgrade we control. And multi-gun to remove 2 from that. So we're getting our cards back, so one way or another, and brawn. We're going to take a damage to create a physical resource for Relentless Assault, dealing 5 damage with Overkill. Soaks up 4, 1 breaks through. We are going to request an action from Spider-Man to play one way or another. Hero action, searching counter deck for a side scheme and draw 3 cards. Captured by Hydra. Which gets 5 threat. Then we're going to thwart for 3. And flip over and heal for 3. Up to 9. Then attack for 1. Down to 2 health. Thwart for 2. Remove from the game, and we found Shang-Chi. 4 to 2, attack for 2, 3 health. After you play him from your hand, spend an energy resource to stun an enemy. And we'll do that to there. So stunned. And thwarting for 2. And thwart for 3. Oh yeah, I forgot. Need to draw 3 cards. Web Shooter, and then a counter card. Shuffle, and we got 2 more cards coming. Backflip and a Quinn Carrier. Going to bring in the Quinn Carrier. We're an Avenger resource exhausted to generate a wild resource, which we're going to go ahead and do. To bring in another web shooter. And end our turn. We're going to keep both those cards. So I've got Wiccan, Counterintelligence, and a Webbed Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Locked and Loaded, Endurance, Power of Aggression, Genius, Energy Spear, and Fusillade. 2 threats. I'm going to add 1 for him. Scheming for base 3 for 5. Goes to attack, loses stun. And counter cards. Captured by Hydra. And the villain attacks you. So we get to draw a card into a Spycraft. White Tiger is going to defend for 1, 2, 3, 4. This activation deals damage to a friendly character. Stun that character. Well, she's getting beat up, so not worried about getting stunned. And discard a card at random from each player's hand. Place a threat on the main scheme for each different resource type discarded this way. All right, for Spider-Man, losing Spycraft, which is physical, and Flash, losing a mental. So 2 threats, and pass first player. We're going to bring in Agent Coulson. With the help of a Quinn Carrier. After he enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a preparation card and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. We don't need to because I'm just taking the Spycraft back. Then we're going to bring in Spycraft. Play only if you control a spy character, which Coulson is. When reveal an encounter card, discard this, cancel the effects of that card, and discard it. Then reveal another card from the encounter deck. Then Coulson is going to thwart for 2. Shang-Chi is going to thwart for 2. Black Cat attacks for 1. Spider-Man thwarts for 2. We're going to discard a mental, physical, and energy resource, or spend that to take care of the exosuit. Then over here, we're going to heal for 3 up to 12. Flip over, get shot for 2, down to 10. Thwart for 3. To get rid of that, and that's going to bring out Moon Knight. Thwart to 2, attack for 2, 3 health. After you play him from your hand, spend a wild resource to draw 2 cards. We're going to take a damage to make that wild resource. Marvel Boy and some Tendrils. Play Endurance to give us +3 health. Up to 12. Marvel Boy. Thwart to 0, attack of 2, 2 health. When he attacks, spend an energy or a physical resource for piercing and ranged. So he'll go ahead and attack to take down this version of the Taskmaster. So now scheme of 3, attack of 3. It's got the same forced ability down here. We're getting in a counter card and 34 health. Then Moon Knight will thwart for 2. And I'm going to end her turn. And we're going to keep those 3, drawing into Bug and a First Aid. And over here, Quasar for Justice, Spider Tracer, Swinging Web Kick, and Enhanced Spider Sense. We'll get 2 threat. Then I'll add 1 more for each of our heroes. Getting attacked over here, we draw a card into Energy. Shang-Chi is going to defend for base 4, 5 damage. And attacking over here, Spider Sense, we draw a card into some Tendrils. Get in a counter card and shuffle. And defend with Marvel Boy for more than he can handle. And counter cards. All right, we're in hero form. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. If an attack card was discarded this way, Taskmaster attacks us. Oh, we got one, so we're getting attacked because of a Swinging Web Kick. So we're going to draw a card into a Genius. And Coulson will jump in front of this for 5 damage. Then Taskmaster gains Retaliate. Hero action, exhaust your hero, spend a mental and physical resource to get rid of it. And stun your hero. If Vulture is in play, this card gains Surge. He is not, so we're just getting stunned. You pass first player. All right, we're going to exhaust our hero, spending a mental and physical resource to get rid of the shield. We're going to bring in Bug, thwart a 1, attack a 1/2 health. After your hero makes a basic attack, heal a damage from Bug. And then we're going to give him a spear attached to a guardian ally. Gets +2 attack and piercing. So swinging for 3, down to 31. Then attacking for 2, no, thwarting for 2. And multi-gun to remove 2 threats. All right, we're going to bring in Quasar, thwart 1, attack for 2, 3 health. After he enters play, remove 1 threat from each scheme in play. Then attack for 2, down to 29. Then attack for 1. Down to 28. Attack for 2, down to 26. Swinging Web Kick with the help of a web shooter to deal 8 damage to an enemy. Down to 18. Then Quinn Carrier and Sense of Justice. 4 justice to remove 4 threat, or in this case, 3 threat from the scheme. And ender turn, holding on to Enhanced Spider Sense. All right. So 4 more cards, one way or another. Webbed Up, Wraith, and for Justice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fusillade, Power of Aggression, Hall of Heroes, Run and Gun, and Valkyrie. So we get 2 threat +1 for each. So 4 threat. Getting attacked over here, we're going to draw a card into Fusillade. Then Moon Knight's going to defend for 4, 5 damage. Attack over here, we draw into Eros. Quasar defends for 4, 5 damage. And counter cards. Villain attacks you. We'll draw a card into a helicarrier. Tiger defends. See, if you're in hero form, take a damage. Get an acceleration and shuffle. And he gets a laser rifle. So his attacks gain range, spend an energy and physical resource to get rid of it, and +1 attack. So Eros is going to come in. 4 to 2, attack of 1, 2 health. We're attacking for 1, down to 17. Attack for 1 and 2 more, down to 14. Web shooter and a Quinn carrier. For webbed up, hero form only, attached to an enemy, force interrupt. When attached enemy would attack, discard webbed up instead, then stun the enemy. Then over here, exhaust a weapon upgrade you control, deal 5 damage to an enemy. So this is an attack, so it gets negated by the stunned. I think I still need to pay the cost though. Then we're going to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 10. It's going to heal Bug, who can attack for 3, down to 7. Multi-gun for 2, down to 5. Run and gun to ready Venom and each weapon upgrade we control. And attack for 5, and that's going to take care of him. We still had the multi-gun left if needed. So that was Venom and Spider-Man taking on the Taskmaster, and we went through and we saved all 4 of our captives. All right, so victory. Each player rescued 1 or more allies from the Taskmaster encounter set, adds those allies to their deck, and records their names in the campaign log. I think I had that split up 2 and 2. Yep, we had White Tiger and Shang-Chi for Spider-Man. And over here, I think we had Elektra and Moon Knight. Yep. And then record our remaining hit points. We're at 11 and 12. So this will go down to 10. So basically on the next game, we'll come in at 11 and 12, then bring in our upgrades. So he's going to go up to 12, and he's going to go up to 12 also. And that's it for scenario 3. So for next, scenario 4, going up against Zola. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.